I gotta say I'm pretty ecstatic because I finally just finished the first draft of my upcoming book, The Identity Gap, that will be out through Entrepreneur magazine and press in October of this year. And one of the biggest questions that I've had in the last couple of weeks is how do I get so much done in less time? With this particular project, it required a serious framework. When you're creating content for a business, for example, you need to create a framework that allows and sets your brain up for some kind of success. When we look at an empty page, if we don't have that framework laid out for us, we sit there staring at it blankly and we don't get anything done. So here's my framework, first of all, for writing, and then I'll share with you a framework that will biochemically set you up for success. So what's the framework for writing and producing content? Well, the first thing is 4 crucial steps. You've got to identify what you're going to cover, why you're going to cover it, how, so what are the practical tools and techniques that an individual is going to take after they've read this content, and why they should take those steps. So what, why, how, and once again, why. So the last why reaffirms the information that you're sharing, especially if you're providing some kind of education that has practical step-by-step elements contained within it. When you use this kind of framework, you can really sink your teeth into it because it's a matter of filling in the gaps, and that comes a lot easier. When I look at the framework, the first step I take is to jot down any notes, any ideas I have, just let it roll off the tongue as quickly and as fast as I possibly can without editing anything yet. The editing process comes way later. The second tip, you've got to biochemically align yourself with your goal. Say for example, your goal, you want to turn right, but biochemically you need to turn left because your brain requires rest, rejuvenation, and you need to do a reset. If this is the case, you'll feel that tug of war, something's out of alignment, nothing's quite in sync right now. Now, I've experienced this tug of war for the past 4 years, which inspired The Identity Gap, a biohacker's guide to becoming unstoppable in 90 days. And what I discovered through talking to neuroscientists, microbiome experts, doctors, as well as biohackers, of course, is that once we get our biochemistry aligned with our goal and our vision, everything flows a lot easier. Now, there are a few core factors that I uncovered talking to these countless experts that really impact our mood, our cognition, and our ability to get things done. And a few of those that you may never have thought of include food sensitivities, medications that may impact and influence our mood and behavior, as well as inflammation within the body, and of course, sugar. So when we experience those crashes, the high ups and downs, what that does is it takes the energy from our prefrontal cortex and it shifts it. So the focus is then on actually getting food, not on solving the problem that's laid out in front of you right there and then. So there are a few steps that you can take to address these issues. You can have a food sensitivity test done, which I attest by, and it really alerts you to different foods that can impact your mood. The second is to, of course, reduce sugars and highly processed foods. We know that they impact our behavior, but do we necessarily link it to the goal that we want to achieve and the food? Not necessarily. So you can keep a food diary to keep tracks of those ebbs and flows. What did you eat that caused you to have that afternoon nap, have that crash? What did you eat that's left you feeling less than great for the next couple of days? When you address these things, all of a sudden you'll be able to focus better, you'll have more energy, and you'll be able to get more done in less time. So if you'd love to learn more about biohacking strategies so you can achieve more, be sure to head over to theidentitygap.co to complete a quick 60-second survey that will help still shape the final stages of this book that will be out in October. Got a question? Hit me up below. Leave a comment in the section below, as well as be sure to subscribe to this channel, like, and of course share with your friends and family that this can benefit. In the meantime, I'll catch you next week, and hopefully by then I will have my filming location set up after the big move to New York. Take care. See you then.